Hey there, we're going to talk about some fundamentals to sensual movement today and what that means and how you can do it very easily. And another word for this is sexy dancing or sensual dance or sultry dance, and it's one of my favorite things to explore these days, but there was once upon a time where I felt very embarrassed, very insecure, shameful that I was moving in that way, and I really was brought to terms with certain beliefs that I had about my body, about sexuality, about how to express these ideas, and ultimately it was a space for me to be aware of those things and to realize, that I was carrying these stories, and then to subsequently let them go and to replace them with stories of confidence, with grace, with ease. So let's get into it. My biggest number one thing that I'll tell people about how to do sensual movement, how to dance sexy or sensual, it's a feminine energy, right? And sensual, it just means sensing. So let yourself slow down and be aware of the sensations in your body. Be aware of the information that's coming into you, and also be aware of any feelings that come up for you. Don't try to control them or change them. It's about an awareness. And through the awareness, through the movement, we can let go of layers, we can ingrain new stories, but we can also tap into really cool parts of ourselves. And with that feminine movement, it's going to be very soft. So it's soft joints, it's soft knees, it's soft hips. It's going to be utilizing your curves, okay? It's going to be, I want you to think of a spiral motion and a circular motion, okay? So if you're moving your body in spirals or in circles, right? Very different shape than a square, obviously, or a triangle. But we're going into our soft spots, we're going into our curves, and we're letting ourselves take up space. We're slowing down, breathing, sensing, taking up space in all of our curves. And if you just think about moving in spirals or moving in circles, you can do that to your head, to your shoulders, to your arms, to your midsection, throughout any part of your body, and you're going to find some really cool movements that you can do there. So quite simply, let's just go ahead and give it a shot. Let's start with our hips, because this is, let's be honest, this is where a lot of the good stuff is. So again, softness in the knees, softness in the hips, and I'm going to start circling my hips all the way around, filling up that circle, not cutting it off in the corners, okay, but really pushing those hips around. You can take it both ways a few times, and just in the beginning, do some big circles throughout the whole body, throughout each body part, and notice how that feels to you. From there, we can take it a little more nuanced, and I'm going to do a circle from side to side, and that's pushing my hip forward to the side, back, and then it cuts across to the front on the other side. So this is that real sexy figure eight. And all I'm doing is thinking about circling in my hips. I've got soft knees, soft ankles, soft shoulders. Another thing with feminine and sensual movement is everything is connected. So I'm not going to try to isolate my hips here, although I can, and yes, it is sexy, but just for this experience of flow, I'm going to let my body be attached to those hips, right? And my shoulders, and everything is going to move alongside that. I'm going to pause in my hips. I'm going to isolate some chest circles, like my heart is leading me here. This is a really good way to be in touch with your sensuality in your body, is to let your heart lead you, to let your gut lead you, right? Let's take it the other way. And again, I can take my hips and my shoulders at the same time, and they kind of spiral opposite each other. I'm going to take spirals in my shoulders, okay? Big spirals in those shoulders. What's great is I can, again, take my hips into this. Just push my hips side to side, or take my hips in circles, or just let my hips react to my shoulders. How does that feel? To just let the shoulders sort of affect the rest of the body. Of course, my head and your beautiful face. Just so much room for sensuality and storytelling and You can take some of those circles through the head, making sure the shoulders stay down. I can also, kind of roll it with it. So I can just add those shoulders with the head. Start small and go big. We want to make sure we don't hurt our neck, so make sure you're stretching out your neck and you start really, really small and really, really slow into that movement. Put on a song. Put on something that just has a rhythmic beat. And if you can do it with the lights off, if you can do it not even watching yourself in the mirror, just sit with yourself and let yourself circle. If it feels awkward, it's probably going to feel awkward in the beginning if you're not used to it, but typically a good rule of thumb for our movement, if it feels really awkward, it's probably going to look more awkward, but if it feels good to you, and you don't need any sort of external, to tell you how it feels to you, if it feels good to you and you're enjoying it and you're enjoying that sensation and that sensuality, it's going to look really good and it's going to look really sexy. And anybody who's so lucky to be the witness of it, will think so too. So, sensual movement is about getting out of the head, getting into the body. Use your breath, use your circles, use your curves, take up space, and exhale out anything that makes you feel uncomfortable about doing it. Because I guarantee you that anything that makes you feel uncomfortable about sensual movement, those stories and those limitations, whatever it is also holding you back elsewhere. So it's a good idea to just have this ritual with yourself and to, again, connect with yourself and to instill more confidence in yourself and in your body. So wishing you encouragement and a beautiful rest of your day, and to enjoy the subtleties and the sensualities. Until next time.